day here in San Antonio.
But we're staying dry and getting ready for some great SCAC basketball as the Trinity Tigers take on the Austin College Kangaroos here in the third game of conference for both of these teams. Trinity on a 7-game winning streak to start the year. Austin College 5-4. They both won their conference openers, but then coming down to San Antonio, certainly going to be interesting, as that first weekend of play certainly showed how much parity that this conference has. I'm Reed Rosales, joined along with Luke Terry on the Tiger Network. And Luke, what should we expect today?
I think you're going to see a Trinity team that's going to get out and run. And for this Austin College side, you mentioned the parity that we see in the SCAC year in and year out. Obviously winning their conference opener, but then dropping their next game. Going to see very early on some signs of how competitive they'll be in this one. You mentioned that 5-4 record, some ups and downs to start the year, but I'm sure that they're ready to get going and try and just get an early hot start against this Trinity team.
And the Roos going up and down the arc, getting it to number 20, Kittis Gedinet, who has been a star for the Roos, trying to dish it in. Back to Gedinet. Gedinet can't get it in. Braxton Berry. It'll be a jump ball. So Trinity will get the jump ball there, as some good contention by Braxton Berry.
Yeah, but a pretty clear, concerted effort early on from this Austin College side to get Gedinet in positions where he can get shots early on. That one, a good look, but just off the rim.
And now the Tigers with their first offensive possession. Christian Green trying to work his way in, and Da Vinci works another masterpiece in the paint, as the Tigers will strike first. Austin College trying to respond, Gedinet swarmed by two Tigers, able to get it to Joshua Joe. Joe back to Gedinet. Gedinet trying to get past this Trinity defense. Joe dishes it in. It's back out to the three-point arc. That one won't land for Ethan Pierce. And it's going to be Austin College ball.
We talked to Coach Jimmy Smith, head coach of the Tigers, just a couple days ago ahead of this weekend's matchups. We talked especially about the defensive efforts of this team. You look at it early on, it's a 1-3-1 zone that we've been familiar with here on Tiger Network that they're deploying right now. And they've used even these zones very specifically to try and limit opposing players, just individuals. Right now, they're trapping Gedinet pretty much every time he's seen the basketball.
Gedinet working his way in the paint, just running into a bunch of Tigers. It's going to be Tiger ball. Now, Braxton Berry with the inbounds. Jacob Harvey working it against Joshua Joe. Joe gets a takeaway, so Austin College on the run. And out to Gedinet. Gedinet works his way in, can't get the layup. Christian Green with the board. So good play by the Tigers to get set on of the takeaway. Braxton Berry swings it over to Jacob Harvey. Harvey with the spin on to Tanner Brown. Back up to Harvey. Trying to get it into Berry. They do. Kicks it back out to Brown. And Brown will be fouled.
Yeah, and pretty solid help defense from Joe right there. But he's going to get called for the foul. Just couldn't get all the way in front of Tanner Brown as he made that cut to the basket right there.
Jacob Harvey up to Brown. Brown dishes it in, trying to get it to Green. A little bit of a fumble there, but Green gets it back. And now Tanner Brown into the paint again, and 2 more points for the Tigers. They go up 4-0.
And a good job from Brown right there, just slowing all that momentum down, letting his defender run by him, and then pulling up just a couple of feet from the basket. Nice touch using the backboard to find that 2-point shot.
Gedinet choosing to dish it in, and a smart decision. Thought he was going to shoot it, but instead got it to O.C. Berry, who puts in the Roos' first bucket.
I think that's what this Austin College team's going to do all day, is just funnel their offense through Gedinet He recognized his first couple of drives towards the basket. There was a ton of traffic. Great recognition there. A little shot fake, got some defenders out of position. He does a nice job of recognizing his teammate had the better shot there, and finally has Austin College on the board almost 3 minutes into this half.
Tigers to inbound. Harvey puts it up for Green. Able to get his hands on it. Layup doesn't go in, but Green gets the rebound and will be fouled. So Tigers will retain possession. So 3 fouls for Austin College early on here. That one put up very easy for Jacob Millhouse. Harvey can't get it from the perimeter. So Austin College with a chance to respond. And now number 14, Nate Williams. Williams trying to find a weak point. The first to Joshua Joe, goes up to Ethan Pierce. And now O.C. Berry can't get that one in. That one will be off the side of the iron. So Trinity will be able to respond as Christian Green gets a nice layup. So 6-2 off of the nice play by Christian Green. Austin College working it fast. Austin College trying to get a statement win. They beat Centenary, but dropped one to St. Thomas to open up their SCAC play. A win against Trinity would do a lot for momentum. And that will be a takeaway by Tanner Brown as the ball was intended for O.C. Berry. Millhouse goes out to Brown. Brown from deep, just in and out. So Austin College, well, fortunate there. Gettinet will be the one to conduct the offense yet again.
And they got it in his hands in transition right there before he slowed it down just a little bit. Nice fake right there to get the defender off his feet, drawing the contact on the inside. But the couple of possessions before that, Gettinet started off ball, went to that corner. You know, the last time down the court, eventually they kind of reset and got in his hands to try and initiate. But right now, doing a lot to get him some different looks, whether it be on ball, initiating the offense, or playing off ball. Just didn't happen to work, didn't get into his hands in positions where he could shoot it from that corner 3-ball range. We'll get our first break of the half right here. See those stats up on your screen at the moment.
The Tigers shooting well, and certainly Kittis Gettinet going to be the one to look out for, averaging 16 points a game and shooting 75% from the free throw line. Free throw shooting, something that the Tigers would like to raise up a little bit, have been conspicuously a little low to start off the year. They were one of the best in the nation last year at free throw shooting, so certainly looking to up that percentage. But Kittis Gettinet, Tigers have been very good at taking away star players from teams. We'll see how they handle Gettinet coming out of the timeout.
It's really interesting the ways in which they do it. Typically, when you think about wanting to shut down an individual, you put someone on him one-on-one, you switch that man defense, you give help defense whenever you can, but that's just not what Trinity's done so far this year. More often than not, they're using these zone defenses, but they're just remaining very cognizant of where those specific players are on the court. And you're right, Reed. It's been a couple of times that they've shut players down. Will Parthozik out of Hardin-Simmons. They had all-American caliber talent that they shut down very well from Mary Hardin-Baylor. And that's continuing here tonight against Austin College.
Harvey with an open three, and he'll sink it. So first three for the Tigers, puts them up 9-2, thanks to Jacob Harvey. Gettinet and the Roos working quickly. Joe trying to work against this zone defense. They hand it off to Gettinet. Gettinet gets it to Barry. Barry out to Joe. And Joe just a little too short on his three. So Harvey and the Tigers back down the court. Christian Green with the spin move. Back out to Harvey, up to Millhouse. And they work it all the way around the three-point arc to get it to Tanner Brown. Christian Green. Back to Harvey once again. Harvey conducting the offense. He's a smart conductor. Gives it up to Tanner Brown. Brown works it in, and a nice tough finish for Tanner Brown.
And a great job of just getting that lead shoulder around the defender just enough that he could kind of lean forward and get that up off the glass. Use that offhand, but just that original move, getting that shoulder in front, really kept that defender out of position, not in a place where he could block that shot.
Brown putting up a quick three. That one won't go, and it will be a rebound for the Roos. They're working it quick. Joe gets blocked by Christian Green. Absolute denial there. Christian Green can jump pretty high, and Joshua Joe found that one out personally.
Yeah, and it was a great job in the original contest by Millhouse right there, coming over, going straight up, forcing the offensive player to kind of contort in midair. Just altered that shot enough that it made it a really easy block for Christian Green when he came over and helped defense.
Now on the court, Jamie and June for Austin College, along with Tristan Dick, two more key players. Jackson Rennie, also another new face for the Roos. Get it down to Pierce. Pierce trying to drive in, kicks it up for Rennie. And Rennie rims out, and it's going to be Tiger ball off of the missed three by Rennie.
One of the other big things when you're running these zone defenses is it makes it so much easier on that end of the court to collapse, right? When you're in man, you're so much more focused as Roberts gets that shot up, it's long off the back rim, on where your guy is at any given moment. When you're guarding a specific area on the court, you're cognizant that someone's gotten into the paint, you can afford to kind of collapse to that part of your zone that's closest to the ball still. And I think that's what we've seen a lot for this Trinity team so far, is nothing is coming easy for Austin College in the paint. They've gotten a couple of good looks from the outside, but really nothing working on the interior so far.
Braxton Berry's bucket makes it 13-12. Austin College really needing to respond right now. The three is put up, but not good from number three, Jamie and June. Braxton Berry having to contest with a couple of Roos, able to get it out. Roberts drives it in, takes it himself, and the lead only extends 15-2 now, as Trinity off to a very good run to start off this game. Now Austin College trying to work something. Jordan Hudgens, a new face in for Austin College. They put it out for Rennie. Rennie can't get it again. Tristan Dick with the rebound. Austin College very good at rebounding the ball offensively. And one for Austin College as Braxton Berry tried to go up for the block, but instead Jamie and June will get a bucket and some change to go along with it.
That's one of the best ways that you can attack a zone, is get that guy running baseline to baseline in the short corners and take some really, really spot-on passing. That's exactly what the Roos got right there. It was a great find all the way from the top of the key. Braxton Berry just a little bit late in rotation, but despite that, for June, a really nice finish with the contact, with the opportunity to add an extra at the line.
And the and one for June will not go. So Tigers with Dean Balo on the floor. Balo trying to get it up, swarmed by Roos, but he will be fouled. So Dean Balo will step up to the charity stripe.
Yeah, a lot of body contact right there, just because Balo decided very early on to force the issue. It's a good job in transition, just getting to a spot on the block, beating his defender there, and earning this trip to the line.
Ty Williams entering this one for Trinity, junior out of. Now Balo will take another shot from the free throw line. That one off the front of the rim, so 16-4 will stay the score. Austin College really looking for a splash play here. Getting that will hand it down to June. It's back up to Rennie. Jackson Rennie over to Dick. Back down. Getting that a little too long. Balo only having to deal with June right now. And June will win that battle ultimately. It'll be Austin College ball. Timeout on the floor. So 16-4, Trinity up by a good amount right now. Austin College having trouble finding the net here in this first half of the first half.
Yeah, and just trouble getting good shots off so far in the game. Specifically, as we've already talked about pretty extensively, inside the arc. They've had some open looks from three-point range and beyond that, some pretty deep opportunities that they've taken. They just haven't sunk those either. So things will regress to the mean for this Austin College team as the afternoon or this evening progresses, and they're going to start knocking some shots down. But right now, Trinity already with a 12-point advantage in this one. Austin College is going to need to start finding and making some easier shots, maybe getting some steals like they just did. Good turnover that they just forced, but coming back down the other way, creating good possessions and some opportunities in transition to shrink this lead just a little bit until they start knocking down those shots from the outside will be very important for the Roos.
Heading out of the timeout, Austin College will be the ones to inbound. Jordan Hudgens will get it in for June. And now Trinity really pressing the Roos right now. Austin College having to work to get it down the court. Roberts and Balo, I mean, absolutely brutal with their defense there. But now things more set. Number 3 on number 3, Jamie and June and Dean Balo. Rennie gets it into Tristan Dick, but his pass is intercepted by the Tigers. So Christian Green go up to Ty Williams, back down to Green. And now number 20 for Trinity, Grayson Herr, works it in the paint, passes it back out to Green. And a travel will be called on Christian Green, so Roos will get the ball back.
Christian Green catching on the perimeter a couple of times already this afternoon. Hasn't taken a ton of shots from the outside this season, but it's another thing that Coach Smith talked about in the meeting we had this week, the fact that he can knock it down from the outside. It's just a matter of putting those shots up. I think that's something that we'll expect to see out of him this weekend on Tiger Network, both today and tomorrow when the Tigers take on University of Dallas.
Nice bucket from Hudgens there, 16-6, so double-digit lead for Trinity. And that one is saved, but it's going to be Austin College ball. But a couple of players running into each other. It's going to be Roo basketball still.
Yeah, nice effort there from Abdullah Roberts, but just taking out the legs of that Roo. That time it was Jackson Rennie who took the contact.
And now Austin College back on the offensive side of the ball. Gannett, get a net. Can't put it in, but nothing to do in there as the offensive rebound, something that the Roos are very good at, gets them some more opportunities to score. So 16-8 and an and one coming up for Jordan Hudgens. Sinks it there, and the Trinity scoring drought. 2 minutes now. Balo gets it into her. Her tries to get it back out to Balo, but Balo was trying to move down the three-point arc, end up not being in the right place. So it'll be Austin College basketball.
And Jacob Harvey, Tanner Brown checking back into the game for Trinity. This group that came in was a little bit out of sync this afternoon, turning the ball over, not getting the same good looks that the starting unit had. So it'll be almost that same starting 5 out there. At least 3 of those guys, and Harvey, Brown, and Millhouse will retain in the game at the moment.
And here we go, seeing Gidenet. Talking about them funneling the offense through him. Tries to get it in. A nice snag by Hudgens, who puts it up. Can't get points out of it. Tanner Brown with the board. Working it down fast. Abdullah Roberts in the paint. trying to beat Hudgens, unable to do so, but a great play by Williams to get the ball back for the Tigers. Harvey just allowing the offense to get reset. Ty Williams back to Harvey. Harvey will take a three. And Harvey sinks it. A nice high arcing shot. 19-9. Tigers up by 10 yet again.
Jacob Harvey, such a knack to get open, find and create the space he needs. He moves so well without the basketball in his hands to get those opportunities. But Austin College starting to find a groove as they come back and hit another basket. And all of a sudden, it's a 19-11 game. So cutting into this lead very effectively in the last couple of minutes. Really taking advantage of that brief opportunity they had without Braxton Berry or Christian Green in the game. Not a whole lot of defensive lineups that you see without both of those guys or either of those guys on the court for Trinity. And very quickly, Coach Smith goes back to Berry, who will return and really anchor the defense here.
Puts him in along with the chaos creator himself, Zach Fenn. Absolutely relentless on the defensive side of the ball. Has been getting a bit more consistent with his offense as well as the Tigers inbound. Brown working it in the paint, trying to get it to Harvey, instead having to kick it back out to Berry. Berry back to Brown. Brown, Zach Fenn will try and work it in, but to Brown yet again. Brown can't put it in. It's up in the air still. It's going to be a Tiger basketball. So some good defense by the Roos.
Yeah, really good defensive possession there by Austin College. A ton of help, and saw Tanner Brown a couple of times catch, try and drive, take it off the dribble, but just too many black jerseys stepping in his way made it very difficult right there. A ton of size and length on the court for the Roos at the moment.
Berry will end up getting fouled there after he received the pass.
Foul number 3, Jamian June, that is his third.
And that one will be tagged to Jamian June, freshman out of Grand Prairie, Texas. Now, Harvey gets it into Fenn. Berry up to Harvey. Harvey goes to Zach Fenn. Fenn working it in. Good pass to Braxton Berry. 21-11, and Trinity also in the bonus right now. So Austin College having to be a bit more careful than usual as there's still 8 minutes left in this half. Austin College and Joshua Joe, the senior at Hearst, Texas, gets it to Berry. Berry loses the ball, and it's up for Zach Fenn, and it's as easy as that. The only one with an attempt was Nate Williams, but he was just a bit too far behind. Joe back down to Nate Williams. Williams contending with Harvey, passes it up to Pierce. In for Hudgens. The big man trying to get it to Berry, but once again, they can't find Berry. And Fenn will get fouled and does a little roll out of the court. So 23-11, and I'm sure with some free throws on the way. And we will head down to
Out in at Texas Lutheran. where they didn't have a made three-point field goal until almost halfway through the second half. So it took them a long time to make that shot their last time out. Good to see it going early on here, and clearly you can tell how it changes the course of an affair. Playing great. With Jacob Harvey knocking those down very early on, it turns him into a different kind of threat. The defense has to pay very special attention to him on that end of the court. Right now, Austin College with a good defensive lineup out there. We talked about the size on the court. Looked like they made a change that last time out. On the court now, number 4, Tristan Dick, replacing Jordan Hudgens. Defensively, they were great with that last lineup out there, but weren't generating great offensive possessions. So we'll see how his presence on the court changes that for the Roos.
Nate Williams, 6'4" sophomore, goes up for Ethan Pierce, the 6'7" sophomore. Tristan Dick will put it in the paint and get a bucket for the Roos. 25-13. Tigers quick to work it back down. Tanner Brown, not good from downtown this time, but the Roos having to deal with Zach Fenn on defense and almost intercepted, but the Roos passing the ball effectively. That one's put up, but off the front of the iron. Tanner Brown gets it to Zach Fenn. Fenn is denied. Tristan Dick going up to block Fenn.
Yeah, not sacrificing any defense, but the last couple of possessions almost exponentially more decisive. Dick has had the ball in his hands a couple of times, scored a basket, nice pass outside that creates that open look for Pierce. He just can't get it to fall.
And Millhouse thought about an open three, but instead tried to pass it in. Just an easy takeaway for the Roos. And a behind-the-back pass. Flashy passing from number 14, Nate Williams. Tigers trying to work it down the court. Fenn will put up for three. That won't go. Barry trying to get the rebound, but instead, Austin College with another opportunity. Fenn trying to draw a charge. That one will not go. And right now, Austin College trying to find a bit of momentum. Tristan Dick loses the ball, and Jacob Harvey on his own only has one person to deal with. And he wins that battle 27-15. And timeout on the floor, as it seems both teams a little out of system, to put a volleyball term out.
Absolutely. The last couple times up and down the court, some sloppy play, some turnovers, and it's led to some open looks for both squads. I think you're used to a little bit more effort, so I think that kind of indicates just the fatigue that's setting in so far here in the first half for each of these teams. Almost 15 minutes down in San Antonio. So far, Austin College really struggling from the field, but especially from deep, have yet to find the range from three-point distance. 0 for 8 on the evening. Of course, Trinity 2 for 8. You mentioned those couple that Jacob Harvey knocked down himself. That's really a huge difference in this game at this point. One that's just 12 points. You knock down 1 or 2 of those shots if you're Austin College, it cuts the game immediately to single digits. So can't be dissuaded from shooting from range at this point.
Austin College looking to respond after the easy layup by Harvey. Tristan Dick trying, and now driving in. Gets it to a good man in the paint, Ethan Pierce. A good pass, and Roos down by 10. Really looking for a defensive stop here. But Trinity with Dean Balo and Jacob Harvey, they're gonna have to be a little worried about the perimeter. Then of course, Christian Green, always a threat. And now the three from Harvey is just a bit short. Brown with the offensive board. And it looks like Christian Green is hopping right now. Hope Christian Green is okay.
Referee standing at mid-court, calling for one of those moppers to come down, clean it up. Christian Green looks like he's good. He'll stay out there. I think he might have just slipped on a wet spot, but he's walking fine now. Saw that last possession. He caught it at the free throw line, and Austin College immediately sending a second defender in help. Things seemed to speed up for him just a little bit, but he made a nice read, found an open Jacob Harvey, It was another good attempt from range, but a little short. Nice job on the offensive glass by this Trinity side, and Tanner Brown comes away with some points because of it.
Gedinet over to Tristan Dick. Back to Gedinet. And Gedinet trying to look for any sort of opening against a stout Tiger defense. Joshua Joe go over to Tristan Dick. A very deep three will not fall. That one collected by Grant Jacobs. New face on the court for Trinity. Jacobs will kick it back out to Harvey and up to Brown. And now Trinity trying to work it in. Tanner Brown up on the arc, spinning around, gets it over to Jacobs. Tigers with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Gonna have to put one up soon. And Christian Green will not beat the shot clock buzzer, so Austin College will be back in the response.
Getting that back on the court for Austin College, now handling the ball at the top of the key. He went to the bench for a little bit of a hiatus here in the first half. Comes in, turns that one over with a little bit of an errant shot attempt, kind of slipped out of his hands on the way up.
And more points for the Tigers as they will break the 30-point barrier, 31-17. Austin College having to just play catch up. They haven't really been able to cut the lead down from that 10-point deficit. Gedinet will go over to Tristan Dick. Tristan Dick getting it into the paint. That one doesn't fall. Christian Green with the board. And Christian Green back down to Brown. The three from Balo will go in. So 34-17. Timeout on the floor as Dean Balo, Christian Green is the freshman that may be making the highlight reels, but Dean Balo, he's got some highlights of his own.
Yeah, checks back into the game for another stint here in the first half. A nice job from this Trinity side, finding him in transition. He knocked that one down, shooting it with confidence, certainly early on in the year. One of the leading scorers, despite the fact that he's still a true freshman on this roster. In that transition sequence right there, it looked like Ethan Pierce for this Austin College side tweaked his ankle. He went down in front of his bench and prompted the timeout. So looks like he's up on his feet, walking a little bit gingerly right now, but certainly played a little bit of a role in how that all played out right there. But a nice job from this Trinity side, not slowing down at all because of it. And now they lead this one by 17 with just over 2.5 left in this half. It's going to be a big stretch to come to conclusion, go into that break. It's going to be an opportunity for Austin College to maybe cut into this lead a little bit, but if you're Trinity, you can really grab control of this lead and take all of the momentum into the locker room.
Head coach for Austin College, Rodney Wecker, in his 17th season with the Roos. And for the Tigers, head coach Jimmy Smith, always planning, always thinking. And when we talked with Coach Smith, he talked about the Roos being a team that really likes to play with the momentum at their backs. And right now, Trinity doing a very good job limiting any momentum that the Roos can muster. That one will be up for Joshua Joe. Joe back down to Rennie. Jackson Rennie goes up to Joe again. Joe down to June. And the J&J connection gets it up to Hudgens now. And we'll get a three from Rennie, but that one off the back of the rim. So Trinity will have a chance to go up by even more. Balo gets it over to Harvey. And now Christian Green with the spin move. Signature move from Christian Green will end up with a layup for the Tigers. And now with Austin College nearly down by 20, they really need a response, but that one swatted away. Jacob Harvey loses the ball, and Tigers will get another chance at it, but Harvey had an open layup, but good on the Roos to get there and knock the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, good job defensively in transition because he not just had an open layup, he had a streaking Christian Green. We've already seen one lob off the glass to the first year. Caused a thunderous eruption here in Calgard. So a repeat of that would have certainly swung favor even more so in way of Trinity.
Now, Joshua Joe and the Roos once again trying to pierce this Tiger defense. And that one will not go, and a foul drawn. So some shots from the charity stripe for the Roos to try and cut this lead just by a little. Christian Green will be tagged with that foul.
Yeah, a pretty late whistle right there on Christian Green. Thought there was some contact. Also, as that ball was coming off the rim, looked like Abdullah Roberts was in there, but ultimately Green getting pinned with that foul. He's joined right now by Grayson Herr on the left side of the screen, Millhouse. And then way in the backcourt, you can see number 12. It's Carter Ruck, who's checking in, freshman out of Southlake, Texas, Southlake Carroll High School, logging some action here in the first half.
Trinity, about a minute left here in the first half. Christian Green goes up to Ruck. Carter Ruck over to Green, being able to get the contested pass. Ruck once again trying to drive it in. Ruck can't get the points, so Austin College with a chance. 45 seconds left. They're moving fast. See if they put up a three. They will, and that one is going to fall. So a nice shot by Jamie and June. But the Tigers moving quickly themselves, 36-21. Don't want any momentum to build for the Roos. And we'll see if they can continue on their three voyage. Joshua Joe and the Roos may be looking to get the last shot of the half, as there is no more shot clock. 10 seconds left. We'll see who they give to take it. Hudgens from the free throw line. Can't make it. About a second left. It's put up. And that one will not go in. So the last shot from Abdullah Roberts will end the first half. Trinity is up 36-21 of a great defensive effort from really everybody on the court. And the offense has been nice as well to add to that. So really a good first half for the Tigers.
Absolutely, but as you mentioned, everything's really started on the defensive end for this group. It's been that zone that they're running out there that's been incredibly successful at creating misses, creating turnovers, creating deflections. A lot of really athletic, long defenders on this squad, and it just shrinks all of those passing lanes. On the other end of the court, shot okay from downtown, 3 of 12 in the half. Of course, a couple of makes from Jacob Harvey, and I think he's made his name known as you see that replay right there. Some very close attention being paid defensively by this Austin College side. A better showing offensively than what we got out of this Tiger team last week, their last game out against Texas Lutheran, but still some major strides that we could see out of them in the second half.
And the Tigers have been doing a nice job of limiting second chance buckets for Austin College. Number 19 in the nation are the Roos at offensive rebounds, averaging a good amount per game, really. 15 offensive rebounds a game. At the end of this first half, they are with 5 offensive rebounds. So Trinity really doing a good job limiting those second chances. And it's been a really good job for many players off the Trinity bench as well. And Coach Smith is always looking to put out another plan out there. So that will be the end of the first half. We will take a 13-minute break. Be sure to join us back here on the Tiger Network for the second half of Austin College versus Trinity University.
his grunt from all the way up here in the press box. Just generates another opportunity for Trinity, and Jacob Harvey will earn the trip to the foul line now. It looked like a couple times ago down the court, Braxton Berry, I believe on that shot that was made by Hudgens, was a little bit slow back in transition. Still kind of gingerly moving out there, so that'll be something to closely monitor here as we get underway in the second half, but right now doing a nice job.
40-23 the score. That foul was tagged to Rennie. And have to watch out for Joshua Joe and Jamie June, as they both have 3 fouls in the game so far. June, it gets it up to Hudgens. Hudgens having to deal with Harvey. Passes it over his head to June. June being absolutely mauled by an ambush of Tigers, will end up traveling. So Trinity ball as they force the turnover off the travel.
And they haven't used it a ton, but they've trapped every once in a while when those guards have come across half court. Using it sparingly, kind of in that surprise capacity, just wasn't ready for it that time.
A good putback for Braxton Berry as Tanner Brown flew in and tried to get the flying layup. Braxton Berry there to help out his teammate. Joshua Joe tries to dish it in. Christian Green trying to get the steal will end up getting a foul. That one, foul against Nate Williams.
Team foul number 1.
First foul for the Tigers in this half. So Ruse will try again, and once again, Tanner Brown and Jacob Harvey making life miserable for the Austin College Ruse ball carriers. In the paint, that one taken away by Berry. Just couldn't get it above the tall Braxton Berry, and Christian Green with the acrobatics. Tigers are moving a bit too fast for the Ruse right now. They go up by more than 20. That one not gonna fall. Tigers have it again, and Tanner Brown, that's gotta be goaltending, I imagine. Jamie June touched the rim. So count the basket there, as Trinity is just going Mach 5 out of the gates. The Ruse having a tough time keeping up.
Yeah, out of the gates here in the second half, trying to literally run away with this contest, and that's what's happening right now. They've extended this lead all the way to 24. I think it was a 15-point game at the half, so a big advantage in the way of Trinity so far.
And now, June off the court. Get a net. Gets fouled.
Coach Smith calling for a double dribble from the sideline. I kind of felt similarly up here. I'm not sure if any of those Tigers knocked the ball out of Gettinet's hands. I have to see it on a replay, but play back underway very quickly. Still possession for the Kangaroos.
Gettinet succumbs to the Tiger pressure, but Ruse get the ball back. Tristan Dick will get fouled. So Austin College with a chance to cut down the deficit that they're in just a little bit. Has a nice heads-up play by Tristan Dick to get the ball back after the Tigers forced it from Gettinet's hands.
And Dick, really nice in his minutes in the first half. Felt like he kind of bridged the gap between offensive and defensive efforts. Played really well kind of on both ends of the court and was an immediate spark off the bench, especially on the offensive side of things. Got to the basket very well himself, but also created some good open looks for his teammates on top of that.
47-24, Trinity allowing the offense to get set this time. A bit more of a traditional look from the Trinity offense. Christian Green up to Harvey. Harvey back out to Christian Green, working it in the paint. And that one won't fall, so Austin College with the rebound will get a chance to cut the deficit further. And then number 12, Ethan Pierce. Pierce down to Rennie. And Rennie, that one, a kickball violation.
may have shoe-shined Christian Green there on the pass, so Austin College will get a chance to reset the play. Tristan Dick will be the ones to make the inbound pass. And they do what they've done on every inbound pass, get it up to Joe. Joe to Jackson Rennie. Rennie wisely not passing it down, as Harvey would have had a nice steal. Tristan Dick gets the ball, trying to get it out, but instead the Tigers will end up with the takeaway. Dean Balo, some nice work from the freshman, but the Roos working quickly, only having Barry to go up against, and that one will end up getting in, so a quick response from the Roos, but Trinity picking up the pace once again, all the way over to Balo. Balo trying to work in. Christian Green up to Barry as they work it up the three-point arc. Balo with the three, and Dean Balo sinks another three, 52-26, as when push comes to shove, the Tigers are coming away with a lot of big plays and more momentum than the Roos are.
Jacob Harvey has certainly gathered and kind of garnered the reputation as the shooter on this roster, but very early on in his career, Dean Balo showing his proficiency from range, as Zach Finn showing his proficiency defensively. A nice takeaway, but gives it right back to Austin College, trying to force the issue in transition. Dean Balo trying to come away with that one after that last three ball. He just stepped into it. The feet were set immediately. He rose up and knocked it down with confidence. Maybe not the same type of shooter that Jacob Harvey is, but still very, very dangerous from the outside is what he's proven early on.
Timeout on the floor.
Timeout on the floor. Tigers up 52-26 as they are 5 of their last 6 shots. Yeah, Trinity is just on fire coming into this second half. The adjustments that Coach Smith has made are working like a charm. And for Coach Smith, they usually do. He is very smart when it comes to those adjustments, and maybe noticing that the Roos wouldn't be able to keep up with the pace that the Tigers are setting right now, as you know, we've seen them come out way faster than they did in the first half.
Absolutely. Just a blistering start here to the second. Part of that's the adjustments, but part of that is getting back to truly running in transition. Something that we talked about a little bit in the open, something we always anticipate from these Tiger squads, but they're doing it just on a different level right now, operating very efficiently, creating turnovers and running off of those in addition to made baskets right now. Everything's working for them in the transition style that they're playing, and now they're starting to just operate more freely in their half-court sets because of it. Balo knocking down that shot a couple of possessions ago. It's a really tough thing to stop once everything is clicking together, and we've seen it a couple of times in second halves this year. I think it's certainly the stronger of the two halves that we've seen of this squad, especially early on in the year. You think about that game against Claremont Mud Scripps. They trailed at the half, came back to win that game by double digits. Strong second half showing in their home opener against Concordia a couple of weekends ago, and again here this afternoon in their home opener in SCAC play.
And the whistle will be blown there, as after Joshua Joe, the senior, getting the better of the freshman Dean Balo, caused him to pump the ball a little, and then a bit of a chaotic clash under the net will lead to Abdullah Roberts taking some free throws. First one, no good. 52-26, still the score. See if Roberts is able to make it 53-26 on his second attempt. And he will. 14:24 left in the second half. Austin College having to work really fast, because when you're down by this much, you need to get some shots in quickly. And now Joe up to Gedinet. It is Gedinet. No points on the day so far. Trinity once again being very effective at taking away a star player's prowess, as that one off of Gedinet's hands into the stands. So Tigers will have the ball yet again.
Yeah, just too much to think about, too much to be concerned with this Trinity defense, especially when they're in this zone. Not worried about beating your man so much, but especially conscious of just where different guys are at on the court, especially in lineups where you have Braxton Berry and Green out there at the same time. Williams is out there, got challenged, and continues to fight for the basketball there. Slaps it out of bounds. Go back to the Roos, but just so much length. You can get by Green, but then you have another big man down low waiting to step up and contest the shot.
There's a good block from Jacob Jackson to deny the Tigers points there. Joe goes up to Gedinet. And Kedis Gedinet funnels it in to Jackson, but that one won't go in. It's going to be Rue ball as Abdullah Roberts got a hand on and hit it out of bounds. So another opportunity for Austin College. And they certainly need as many opportunities as they can get right now. Gedinet swings it down for Rennie. Rennie getting it into Barry, O.C. Barry. That one doesn't fall. Gedinet puts it in before the buzzer sounds, so count that bucket. Abdullah Roberts trying to work it in. Spins around, tries to beat Gedinet. That one doesn't fall, but the second chance won't go either, so another opportunity for the Roos. Joe keeping Fenn behind him, but that ball comes loose, and now Tigers with another turnover. Dean Balo trying to work against the senior. Williams to Balo, over to Fenn. Fenn really fast, and that's going to be an and one for Zach Fenn. Rennie maybe not expecting the burst of speed from Zach Fenn as he just went right by him.
Yeah, great job catching in the corner. I think this is the first game all year here in Calgard. You see the nice finish through the contact with Rennie and over the taller defender in front of him and Barry. Saying first time all year that we've yet to see a guy catch kind of in those corners and step on that out of bounds line. Great job from Finn there to avoid that, getting all the way to the basket and then just elevating really nicely to finish that play.
The and one doesn't go. Gedinet storming down the court, gets it up to June. That one doesn't fall. And now Balo having Rennie to beat, and he gets the layup. So 57-28. The pace picking up yet again. Gedinet going quick. That one doesn't fall, and this one completely in the Tigers' favor right now. Austin College maybe want to slow down the pace just a little bit, as the Tigers are blistering the nets right now. Timeout on the court, 59-28. Tigers are up by 31, and we've seen some big scoring margins for the Tigers, and this one has to be the biggest that they've had all season.
Yeah, and it's just because those last couple of minutes that you're talking about, everything working for Trinity right now. Even Ty Williams catching in transition and making the decision to elevate, knocking that one down from mid-range. Not something we see very often from this team. Just, again, indicative of how well they're playing offensively and how good they feel. You see the replay of it right there, just rising up over the top. Says he'll take it. You're right, the biggest margin so far this year. Still some time left in this one, so we'll see what kind of effort Austin College can make to get back into this, just close that gap. Really, the way these conference schedules are designed, it's important to just take any momentum that you can out of games. Trinity trying to run into tomorrow's affairs with a full head of steam. Austin College, even if they can't come away with a victory here, want to try to change this script a little bit, gain some momentum, because they're going to be back in action as well.
Trinity averaging 81 points a game right now, certainly on their way to meet that standard. They also limit opponents to 66 points a game. They've done a very nice job at limiting an Austin College offense that can get hot and surprise some teams. They did it to Centenary up in Sherman, but now here in San Antonio, a much colder welcome from the host Tigers. That one will not fall. Tigers with another board. They've been doing very good on the rebound game. Balo with the three. That one won't fall, but Abdullah Roberts helping out the freshman is Abdullah Roberts. The senior's looking out for the younger players as he gets They get back points, 61-28 now.
And everything just very aggressive. A good find in transition, but really once that shot went up, it looked like every white jersey was inside the arc. Everyone crashing the boards right now, trying to take advantage of what has been a huge scoring run for this Tiger side. And quickly we'll get another timeout here in San Antonio. Just under 11 and a half left in this second half of play.
Yeah, the Tigers with 39 rebounds right now. We talked about Coach Smith talking about mantras. The mantra, I will rebound against Hart and Simmons, and then they had their season high in rebounds in that one. They're having quite a bit of rebound success in this one. Maybe perhaps we'll see another season high.
Yeah, at the rate that they're rebounding right now, and it's been a pretty shared effort so far, evenly across the board. Braxton Berry, Christian Green, 5 and 6 rebounds respectively. Tanner Brown leading the way. He just has a knack to find himself right around the basketball. He has 9 so far here today. And then there's a number of players with 2, 4, 3 rebounds. So everybody chipping in, and that's exactly what you want when you're trying to rebound more, is you want a collective effort, everyone crashing the boards, exactly what we just talked about on that offensive possessions just a moment ago. A lot of white jerseys right around the basket inside that painted area.
We will come back out of the timeout with some free throws in order for number 24, Jacob Jackson, sophomore out of Fort Worth, Texas. First free throw doesn't fall. He gets another chance. Meanwhile, Zach Fenn shouting it up with Jordan Hudgens on the other side of the court. Neither free throw falls. So it really seems like everything is against the Roos right now. Tigers working it in. Williams in the paint. And more points for the Tigers, 63-28 now. As Hudgens and the Roos trying to get any momentum, get in that. That one too strong. Balo working it in, back out, gets it to Fenn. Fenn trying to get in, avoids the swipe from Jacobs. He will get fouled, no and one this time, but he will step back to the charity stripe.
And the last couple of minutes, a number of Tigers just taking the opportunity to show what they've got in some one-on-one situations. This time Finn, a nice job of creating that advantage, just getting that lead shoulder around the defender. Seen that a couple of times this afternoon from various guys. Just leans forward, somehow finds a way to put that one up on the rim, but nevertheless earning his shots at the free throw line.
And that one falls, so 64-28 now. Austin College. And Hudgens trying to work it in, puts it up. That one doesn't fall. Tigers with another board. Balo working it quick. Loses the ball for just a second, but Balo quick to get it back in. Zach Fenn down to Roberts. Passes it back up to Fenn. Roberts will take the three. And in and out, Williams gets fouled. So once again, more success on the rebound game for the Tigers, netting them some extra opportunities.
And you talk about nothing going the way of the Roos at the moment. Feels like Trinity can do no wrong in that same vein. Abdullah Roberts misses, but just straight to the hands of Ty Williams, who almost gets a very friendly bounce after he gets fouled to earn some more free throws. Just sneaking in there, nice job of putting himself in a good position to come away with that offensive board, and he adds to his point total on the evening as well.
Trinity in the bonus right now, so any Austin College foul will bring the Tigers to the free throw line. That one doesn't fall, and that one will stay Roo basketball. So another chance for the Roos to end a scoring drought that has lasted over 3 minutes. Nearly halfway through the second half. The inbounds pass not the best, And Zach Fenn keeps it alive. Ty Williams gets it over to Fenn. And come on, the Tigers right now are a walking highlight reel, 67-28 now.
And such a great play from Williams right there. Indicative of a lot of the guys on this roster, just the hustle that they bring. A nice finish there for Austin College to break that scoring drought, but it came at some pretty high difficulty. Ty Williams doing a nice job of contesting that one, and just a number of these guys on the court right now, the type of player that is going to give you 100% effort every single minute that they're on the court.
Grant Jacobs on the court with Ty Williams, who puts it in the paint. That one won't fall, and a rebound for Austin College. But Zach Fenn still being relentless with his defense, getting at, and the Roos kicking it back out to the perimeter. June puts it up for three, and that one falls. So 67-33 rather, as Dean Balo and the Tigers slowing it down a little bit. Balo takes it himself, and 69 points for Trinity, as they keep their lead pretty dominant here. And another three attempt. That one won't fall for June. And the Tigers will get the rebound and get it quickly down the court. Balo, a little too strong there. So quick turnaround. And Zach Fenn takes the ball away up to Abdullah Roberts. Back to Fenn, who draws the foul. So some fancy passing by the Tigers, but a great takeaway by Zach Fenn, just picking the pocket of the Roos.
And we've mentioned our conversation with Coach Smith earlier this week, just a couple days ago before these games. And one of the guys he had to shout out was Zach Fenn. He said he's never been around a player that's had the knack to take the basketball away in the way Finn does. And it's been on full display here this evening. Just an absolute menace defensively, as you've called him. 4 steals so far in just 11 minutes played. Just sensational defensive effort.
Carter Ruck and Jackson Capellish on the court for the Tigers. And Austin College looking for some more buckets. Hudgens gets it into Jacobs, back out to June. June having to work against Fenn, draws the foul. Fenn maybe perhaps a bit too aggressive on the defense there. 70-33, and perhaps the lead could be cut with these free throws. The first one is up, and that's off the front of the rim. 70-33, still our score here in San Antonio.
It's been a remarkably difficult day scoring the basketball for this Austin College side, especially from the outside. Just 2 of 12 on the evening, but it's June at the free throw line, knocking down the second attempt. The only Roo to connect from deep. He's had some success there this evening, 2 of 4 from distance, but those are the only 2 out of 17 attempts.
They're gonna call a charge on Zach Austin, the sophomore out of Clarkston, Michigan. So Roos will get the ball back. About 8 minutes left here in the second half. Timeout on the floor. But for Trinity, it is looking like they are just going to try and cruise on to a nice win here in San Antonio in preparation for their game tomorrow.
Yeah, and a great opportunity to just rest some guys up. Go into tomorrow, back-to-back days with some fresher legs, playing at home, getting the opportunity to just go home, sleep in your own bed, wake up tomorrow, come to your home court and play a team that is playing tonight in Dallas and also is going to have to travel here to San Antonio tomorrow. So a very advantageous position for this Trinity side to be in, and took care of business here this evening, which helps them out a little bit extra.
Trinity up 70-34, and taking a quick look around the SCAC. It's always an exciting conference to be in because anything can happen on any given weekend. Right now, Schreiner up on Dallas 55-49 in the second half over in Kerrville. Trinity will host the Crusaders tomorrow. But for now, back in this one, Austin College having to deal with a lot of young Trinity players looking to make a statement. June conducting the offense. Hudgens, the big man, trying to work it in. Gives it over to Tristan Dick. And a deep three from Rennie. And Rennie finally connects from deep. He's been trying all night. He was 0 for 5 and now make it 1 for 6. These young Tigers working it quick. That one doesn't fall, but an offensive board for Trinity. Tigers give it over to Capellish. Now it's worked up the court. Ruck with the three, and Ruck sinks a three. So 73-37. Good job by Carter Ruck. And a three for the Roos doesn't fall. And now that one unable to go as Austin College will be able to go back down the court. Big throw, another three attempt. That one's gonna fall. So Rennie getting hot all of a sudden. 73-40. And Grayson Herr and the Tigers looking to respond. Ruck with another deep three. Sinks another three. It's raining threes in San Antonio now. 76-40. We'll see if they hand it over to Rennie again.
I think you might as well. At this point in the game, down 36 points. It's been working for you a couple times in a row, but instead a nice strong take to the basket from Tristan Dick, and he'll head to the free throw line because of it. But pretty fun basketball when everything's dropping from three-point range like it was right there.
First free throw is good from Tristan Dick. And in for the Tiger, number 45, Nate Thompson, the 6'9" junior out of Austin, Texas. Tristan Dick doesn't get that one, but will get a rebound off of that missed free throw. So Roos dish it into Jacobs. That one doesn't fall. And now Rennie with a three. That one doesn't fall. So Rennie is in fact human. Tigers working it into the paint. 78-41 now. So Joe, see who he dishes it to. Trying to get it to Tristan Dick. And number 15, Zach Austin, got a hand on it, so Roos get a chance to reset the play here. And now Hudgens looking for a man inside. Defers to Joe, up to Rennie. Rennie trying to put it in the paint now. Can't get the fall. Capellish with the rebound. Now Ruck working it slowly up the court. Both teams in the bonus. So any foul will send us to the charity stripe either way. Let's put in for Capellish. Capellish will be charged with the charge. And some groans from the Trinity crowd.
Yeah, certainly a strong move from Capellish right there. We'll see a replay of it. A little bit of a size advantage. A little bit more muscle on the bones maybe than Jackson, who stood in there and took the brunt of that straight in his chest. So I think it's a respectable call from the officials. Capellish certainly making that move very quickly with a lot of strength, but defensively, Trinity, even with this second, third group into the game, remaining very, very stout. That was Nate Thompson stepping up that time. 6'9", hard to score over that. And it's been a couple of times where he's just gone straight up, used that size and length, and made it very, very difficult for these Roos to score over the top.
And It was a nice interception by Grayson Herr, but stepped out of bounds, so Ruse get a bit lucky here. Hudgens up to Tristan Dick. Thought about taking a three, thought better of it. Back down to Hudgens. Hudgens over to Joshua Joe. Joe trying to work it in, but getting swarmed by Kapelish. Rennie puts up a three, almost made it, but Ruse get a rebound. Tristan Dick opting not to take the three there. For to Joe, Joe will take the three. And Joe sinks it, so 78-44. Tigers picking up the pace again.
This is really the type of momentum that I was talking about a little while ago. If you're Austin College, this game has been out of reach for quite a while, but always feels good to finally see the ball go through the basket. And their effort offensively has remained pretty high all evening long. They haven't been deterred from shooting it from deep, and finally they're seeing some drop. That one gets inside to Jackson. A nice turn and a little bunny from about 10 feet out that he sees go himself.
In for the Tigers goes Salim Roberts.
And timeout on the court as new player on the court, Salim Roberts, brother to Abdullah Roberts. 78-46 is the score. Tigers in a scoring drought that's been a little over 2 minutes, with a lot of young players out there trying to get some experience for all of them. With this game pretty handily in the win column, I'm sure Coach Smith is just wanting to get some nice experience for these younger players out on the court right now.
You talk about scoring totals offensively, still with 3.5 minutes left in this one. Trinity kind of in that range where they can have their best offensive output of the year, but no matter what, it looks like this is going to be their best defensive outing. Austin College still under 50 points here, rate at which they're scoring. I don't know if they'll breach 60 this afternoon, so really stout defensive effort for this Tigers squad, something that we're becoming accustomed to seeing this year, and something that I think they're paying special attention to. Coach Smith talked about adding a lot of wrinkles defensively this year, maybe a little bit less focus offensively, and it hasn't really been a problem. They've found ways to score the basketball, and then on the other end of the court, they've been great defensively all year long.
Ruck goes down to Nate Thompson. And Ruck gets the ball yet again, drops it, but gets it back. So good job by Carter Ruck. Gets it into Kapelish. Kapelish working it up against Tristan Dick. Puts it up in the paint, and he will get the bucket. And we'll get an and one to go along with it.
And Kapelish was just absolutely not going to be denied on this one. Just probing, feeling the defender on his back. A nice job is picking that one up and stepping through. Just creating a little bit of advantage. Misses the free throw, but a nice job. Ruck's right there for the offensive board.
And Ruck, the intended receiver of that pass, gets deflected. And some nice acrobatics from number 15, Zach Austin. Doesn't ultimately end up going in, but we'll have another trip to the charity stripe.
You see him kind of drive that ball right at the defender. Felt like maybe he had a better shot on the near side of the rim, but somehow found a way to put that one up and almost in the basket, as the first free throw is a little bit strong and falls off the side of the rim.
Tigers are 4 for their last 5 shots. And they get a rebound off the missed free throw, and Nate Thompson, who says the big man can't shoot, 82-46. And now number 42, Hudgens, and the Roos trying to leave Cargar Gym with some sort of momentum. And Jackson Rennie just hits it from way downtown. 82-49. As Rennie really trying to find his stride. And Carter Ruck, man, just drived it in. 84-49. We are back in light speed for the offenses once again.
Yeah, and Ruck, not the biggest guy on the court, but just a great job of probing. Saw a little bit of a lane right there and kind of just threw his body right to the basket. Good job of scooping that one up and in. But you mentioned Rennie doing everything he can to grab some momentum. Great three-point shooting in the last 6 or 7 minutes for Austin College. Unfortunately for them, it's just too little too late in this affair. Remember that first half when it was about that 10-point lead. You knew eventually they would fall, but you were just hoping it wasn't going to be a 38-point advantage for Trinity when that ended up being the case.
And I think the most impressive part about this Trinity performance is that it isn't one player scoring a bunch of points like you may have seen in the previous games. It has been very evenly spread throughout Trinity. The highest scoring player is Dean Balo with 13 and Jacob Harvey.
Yeah, a number of guys that didn't even hit their season averages. Christian Green only with 8 on the evening. By his standards, a subpar performance, but obviously a lot of other guys you mentioned stepping up. Zach Finn coming in, adding 10 himself. Tanner Brown, 10 himself. Carter Ruck now with 8 points. So a very, very well-rounded effort, as you point out. And that's the benefit of a game or a team like this. It doesn't have to come from one guy. There's specific players that can afford to go cold during stretches, and you can still feel very comfortable and lead a game by 35 points.
The Tigers nearly get a takeaway there. Austin College trying to drive it in. That one won't fall, so Trinity with another board. It's their season high. Over 50 rebounds, their highest since Hardin-Simmons, where they had 46. So I'm sure Coach Smith is very happy about that aspect of the game. That pass, however, is taken away by the Roos, working it in quick. Some nice acrobatics from Caleb Bennett, junior out of Killeen, Texas, putting it in for a bucket for the Roos, 84-51. And the 3 attempt from Roberts won't fall. Salim Roberts. And now June trying to work it in. It kicks it back out. Jacobs over to June. Off the front of the iron. And now Rock gets it up to Austin. That one doesn't go, but a foul will be drawn. Another player in for Austin College. Number 22, Fred Nina.
You see on that replay right there, a lot of contact against Austin, but a pretty late whistle. Go back to the free throw line. No success there thus far, but he'll have one last attempt. Just over a minute here in San Antonio remaining. This one all but over, so Trinity close to moving to 3-0 in conference play as Austin finds a way to knock that final free throw attempt home.
Now gets it up to Jacobs, back it down to Bennett. Rennie, one back, gets it into Nina. That one is blocked by Nate Thompson. The big man, it gets a nice play. Ruck, I believe, drew the foul there. So more free throw attempts for Carter Ruck.
Foul number 13, Jackson Rennie, his third. It will be 2 shots for Carter Ruck.
And the first free throw is good for Ruck. (86-51) now. Very convincing win for Trinity. And 2 for 2 there makes it 87-51. Austin College put up a quick 3. Rennie, and another 3 sunk by Jackson Rennie. Certainly has been the star of the game in the second half for Austin College. Still have a shot clock, so Tigers will have to take a shot. Capellish with the dunk! And an exclamation point for Trinity, 89-54.
And I don't know if anyone in the gym was expecting that. Based on the reaction of his bench, his teammates weren't. They were all out of their seats immediately. Cabela's just rising up over the top out of nowhere to finish over his defender.
And with the clock ticking down the final seconds, just passing it over. A convincing win for the Trinity Tigers, 89-54. They rout the Roos out of San Antonio. And really a great overall performance all around for these Tigers. There wasn't really a single weak link on the floor for Trinity.
I think one of the most impressive things is just the way all of it continued down the stretch in that second half. I don't remember the last time we saw a starter in the game. It was that second unit, that third unit even, that came in and continued that really, really high level of play. I think that's just what the expectation is across the board. It's one thing we talked about with Coach Smith this week is how much this group enjoys each other, how they've rallied around each other. And I think that's showing so far this season. They advanced to 8-0, and they've been really, really impressive, proving to be one of the teams to beat, not just in the SCAC, but really in the entire country, as they're back in the top 25 for the first time in 15 or so years.
The Tigers showing why they should be a top 25 team. Just so many great contributors on the team tonight. Hey, Jacob Harvey, Dean Balo. Great, impressive overall performance. A season high in rebounds with 54 to end that one. We'll see if they break that later in the season. But for now, the next opponent for Trinity will be the Crusaders of Dallas, who come here tomorrow. Tip-off time for that one is 4 o'clock, but you should stay tuned because the women will be playing in about 24 minutes. Austin College women versus the Trinity University women. So stay tuned on the Tiger Network. For everyone in the control room, Caleb Reed, Luke Terry, I am Reed Rosales signing off for now.